Good morning, all. Welcome to Talking Ball. Dual streaming with LTL Cockerel. It was the only reason why I've popped up this morning is because I had to shoot off yesterday and couldn't finish the show with the predictions, and it wasn't done by my co-host Colin because he was also busy. So therefore, I'm coming on today to show what my predictions are because we've got quite a few people missing from the predictions that normally do it. Excuse me. Yeah, we've got quite a few people that are missing that normally do it. So I was going to give the opportunity, if the people were about this morning, to put their predictions in, or anyone that's new that wants to enter is more than welcome to do so as well. And yeah, so what I've done is I've put my predictions there for everybody to see, and these are the predictions for me for this week. Yeah, so if people want to add predictions, they're more than welcome to do so. Other than that, just a general chit chat for a bit. It's interesting. Today's the 30th of December, and so that means it's 2 days till the transfer window opens. And as fans, we know and we believe Ange knows that we need reinforcements urgently, especially in centre halves in bare minimum because he seems to have no trust in the youngsters. And it's interesting because in one take you hear the news coming out that Tottenham have no money. They've got to do a lot of selling to buy, and then there's these conspiracy theories that the £50 million is still at company's house, but people check hasn't been drawn out yet. So therefore, do we have money? Do we not have money? And then we're being linked with all manners of players who will cost money. Now, to me, in this day and age, you get people that, you don't get people. The clubs that do transfers now tend to do them in instalments, over chunks, over time. So if we look at someone like, let's say Bentancur, and he probably was not the only one that's more than Bentancur. But when we bought Bentancur was bought in for £17 million or whatever. But the deal was that we paid 4 point something million every year for him. So his transfer was spread over 4 years of his contract. Pretty much as what other clubs are doing at the moment. So therefore, what I'm trying to say is that you don't need to have loads of money in order to make to buy people. You don't have you don't have to outlay the money straight away. Sorry, Mark. Yeah, mate. You can. If you see the predictions, just enter them here, and then what I'll do is I'll add them into you, and then you'll be in for this week. And then, either you can put it in the group chat that we've got, or you can put them here on screen. I'll accept either, and then we can continue. You can continue from there. It's not too late to start. People pick up points every week, so it's not too late to start. Going back to what I was saying is that, let's say for argument's sake, you decided to buy 3 players in this transfer window, and they all commanded fees. You could split them fees over a 5-year period. So you buy them, buy the players, you bring them in on a 5-year contract, and you split them fees, or you make agreements with the clubs to split the cost of each transfer over the 5 years. So therefore, your outlay, if you're going in for a £40 million player, your outlay is £8 million a year because you're spreading that 40 million over 5 years. So basically, if you bought 3 players in for 120 million, basically what you're doing is you're paying 24 million each year. As simple as somewhere along them lines. It's £24 million a year spread over 5 years. And you can do it that way. So you don't have to have loads of money to go and buy players. And I think there's this stigma, we haven't got £50 million to spend, or we haven't got. You spread the costs. All clubs do it. We're not the only one. All clubs are doing it, spreading their finances. So, at the end of the day, for your budget sheets, you know exactly how much outgoings you've got because you've already spread that cost, and you spread it for over 5 years, so you know from your budget sheets how much money you've already committed to, so to speak. So I won't hear any of it to say, that we haven't got any money. It's interesting because the reports or the from all the accounts are that that our number one choice is Jean-Clair Todibo, and that if Nice don't play ball, then we're also going to bid for Radu Dragusin, who actually played quite well yesterday against Inter. I think there was a 1-1 draw with Genoa, and Dragusin actually scored. He looks quite a big boy. He looks uncompromising. He looks like he's a no-nonsense footballer. He's quite quick from what I saw yesterday as well. It just so happened that they were on BT Sport, they were live, so I watched him yesterday. It's the first time I've actually really seen him. But yeah, he looked decent. He looked good. But again, the aggregators at the moment are saying our number one choice is Jean-Clair Todibo. But I remember in the summer our number one choice was goalkeeper, and for the first part of the window, our number one choice was David Raya. But we never pulled the trigger on David Raya, did we? We pulled the trigger on a certain Venom Vicario, and boy, did we make the right decision on that. So, for me, it remains to be seen. But I reckon that we will pull the trigger on somebody, and we will bring someone in, and we've got to bring them in early. I'd like to think that we've had months and months knowing what situation we're in. We've had months and months of having a team now in place that probably are working towards the summer. And now that the needs must, you'd like to think that they can pull the trigger nice and early and bring someone in. Now, if our people haven't been working in the background and haven't been doing their job, then sack them. It means they've not been doing their job correctly. Get rid of them. But what I will say is that we definitely need reinforcements, and we've got to bring them in quick. But if there's any business to be done, and we're serious about what we're going to do, incomings and outgoings, and get it done. The news is also coming out, and Fabrizio's giving it, here we go, that our captain, who's our captain of our club for many, many years, and has been at the club for 11 years, Hugo Lloris, has now left the building, or is leaving the building, and signing for LAFC out in the MLS on a 1.5-year deal. I think it runs to 2025. I think, on a 1.5-year deal, and then depending on performances and stuff like that, it could go further, and he could extend his career out there by doing it that way. So that'd be good to see. I'm glad that he's found himself a club. He was a good servant, regardless of he's aged and his form may have dipped a little bit. Excuse me. Yeah, it may have dipped a little bit, but can't forget what he did. He did play well for the club. So yeah, he's one that's definitely going out the door, which then frees up at least one place in the 25-man squad. So yeah, it could well be that that you can bring someone in straight away because someone will replace his position. So that's good to see. Still see all these rumours going around about. The rumours are also going around about Pierre going to Juventus, us looking at Conor Gallagher. I can't see how that fits because Gallagher, unless you're going to spread the cost and take a hit, Gallagher's going to cost north of 40 million, isn't he? And Pierre, we're looking at 20. And it's just interesting how the market's completely changed because to me, someone like Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, what is he, 28, 29 years of age? I would have thought he would have commanded a 30 million fee comfortably because he's a proven Premiership player. He's a starter or an automatic starter for his national side, and they're not like a poor national side. And then someone like Lo Celso. Lo Celso, I can't understand why Lo Celso is not a £30 million player either. Because to me, Lo Celso is good. I believe he's a good player. Whether he suits the Premiership or not, or whether he's going to get a Premiership move, I don't know. But he's the kind of player that I'm looking at and I think to myself, fucking hell, you know, we paid X amount for him. Surely you should be able to get 30 for him. But that's another one that remains to be seen. The other one is the rumours coming out as well that I read this morning. Because I've got up early because I'm all bunged up. I've woken up today all bunged up. And yeah, I've come down with something. It's not good. But yeah, another rumour that I woke up to this morning was that we are looking at Santiago Jimenez. I know we've heard his name before, but it says we're now looking at him and we've got him on a list possibly for the summer unless something happens in this window. And what they're thinking of this window is the Saudis come in with a big bid for Richarlison. Then the belief is that we will then go for someone like a Jimenez. That remains to be seen. It's all up in the air. There's a lot of rumours going around, and I suppose I'm looking at the rumours from a Tottenham point of view. I think that because I don't support any other club, I think that these rumours probably do also happen at other clubs as well. But I'm only interested in Tottenham, to be honest. So we'll see what it is. It'd be interesting to see how many other clubs do business in this window. We aren't the only team that are affected by injuries. We won't be the only team that needs to have some upheaval in terms of players coming in and players coming out. So it'd be interesting to see what other clubs do in the window as well. You always hear that it's going to be a quiet window, and for some reason, I don't know, but you look at the Sky Sports transfer deadline day, bing bong, they do the timer, don't they, for the whole month. And it seems to be that we always break records here in the summer and the winter transfer windows. So that's another one that remains to be seen, how much is actually spent. Excuse me. How much is actually spent in this window, and whether other people are going to dip their toes in there. I mean, you've got teams like Newcastle at the moment, you've got Brighton, you've got ourselves. Just on the injuries alone, would any of these three clubs look to reinforce? You've got other clubs as well that have probably got players that they're trying to get rid of as well. As I said, because I'm only interested in Tottenham, I don't really look at other teams. So it'd be interesting to see what kind of business is done this window. Obviously, as a fan base, we will measure ourselves against what other teams do. So if you've got teams like Newcastle and teams like Brighton are in the same predicament as us, or you have teams like Aston Villa, teams like West Ham, people like that are now fighting for these European places and that, are they going to outdo us in the transfer market, so to speak? Are they going to improve their squads and strengthen their squads? Yeah, it's all brinkmanship, but we will understand by the end of the January window. If not during the window, by the end we'll understand exactly where we are and where our competition is as well, because the window's not open just for Tottenham Hotspur, it's open for everybody. So yeah, that's another one that we need to look at. So, but yeah, so transfer news wise, that's basically all I've seen in the transfers when I woke up this morning. So at the moment, I'm going to say that I haven't had any predictions. So if this is playback and playback, I haven't received Colin's predictions yet. Kate, Jim, Dry Roasted Peanut, Danny, Mile High Hotspur, Brian Daigle, Soji at Come On You Spurs, Josh from Speaking Spurs, Josh from Spurs Live, Hughes News, Alex Hilton, Boris Britt, John Fitz, Rich, Tom Markkinen, Sheree, What's the Point, Rakesh, Nick B, Cole Simpson, Jacob, Mr. B, that's Has, and Dave, the Irish Hotspur. From the people that tend to normally predict, they're the ones that I haven't received as yet. So the first game today is, let me have a look. The first game today is a 12:30 kickoff. And the 12:30 kickoff match today is Luton versus Chelsea. And in that game, I've predicted 2-0 to Luton. Yeah, I've predicted 2-0 to Luton. Luton 2, Chelsea 0. Then we have a 3 o'clock kickoff. So we have 4 of them today. And I've gone Aston Villa 1, Burnley 2. Crystal Palace, I've gone Crystal Palace 0, Brentford 1. I've gone for Man City to beat Sheffield United 4-0. I've gone for Wolves 3, Everton 1. And in the evening game at 17:30 GMT, I have gone for Notts Forest 2, Manchester United 0. On New Year's Eve tomorrow, 2 o'clock kickoffs, there's 2 matches. And I have gone for Fulham 2, Arsenal 1. And then the Mighty Spurs, I've gone 3-0 to Tottenham against Bournemouth. On New Year's Day, there's one game at 2000 hours GMT, which is Liverpool Newcastle, and I've gone for Liverpool 3, Newcastle 0. And then on Tuesday the 2nd of January, the last game of this weekend's fixtures is at 19:30 GMT, and I have gone for West Ham 2, Brighton 0. Then there's a break because we've got the FA Cup the following week, and after that the league resumes again on the 13th of January. And by this time, players from the Premiership and throughout the whole world would have left their clubs to go and play in the AFCON or in the Asia Cup, and therefore there's a lot of teams that will be without players, including ourselves. So on Saturday the 13th of January, when the league resumes, there's 2 games. It's quite weird because I split this. Oh, sorry. There is the midwinter break that I have to remind you guys about. So therefore, the midwinter break, the way it works out in the Premiership here, is that the weekend of Saturday the 13th, there'll be 5 games. So 10 teams play. And then the following weekend, the other 5 teams play. So then like that, everybody's going to get a 2-week break, if you look at it that way. So on the 13th of January, the 5 games, there's 2 on the Saturday, 2 on the Sunday, 1 on the Monday, and exactly the same the following week. So the first weekend, it will be Chelsea versus Fulham, Newcastle, Man City, so 2 tasty games there already. You have Burnley, Luton, Everton, Aston Villa, Manchester United, Tottenham, and then Burnley, Luton. So some tasty games in them 5. And then the following week, the 5 that have played that week have a week off. And then the following week, on Saturday the 20th, the other 5 teams play, which will be Arsenal, Crystal Palace, Brentford, Nottingham Forest, Sheffield United, West Ham, Bournemouth, Liverpool, and Brighton versus Wolves, which makes predictions quite interesting because we will be asking the predictions for only 5 teams. On Friday the 12th, we'll do the predictions again, and it'll only be for 5 games. And then we'll probably do the predictions again the following week on the Friday, where we're also again going to be asking for 5 games. And then we have the week after that. Okay, the week after that, the league games are in midweek. So the league games then pick up on the Tuesday the 30th of January. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games then. But then there's 3 games on the 31st, which is a Wednesday, which is the night that we play Brentford. So that makes it 8 games. And then, on Thursday the 1st, you have another 2 games. And then we play another round of fixtures on the Saturday. This is just relentless. I think this is done for TV. It's just, it's got to be for TV money. But it just seems to be one game after another after another. It's all TV money. But at the end of the day, would we have it any different? Yeah, possibly. But we love our football, we love our fixes, and we all tend to seem to want to watch. So, not many people have joined this morning, and as I said, I feel quite bunged up. I've got to go up feeling rough this morning. So what I will say is that if you do want to enter, put your predictions either in the groups that you're in. If you're part of the groups, if you're not part of the groups, then please leave them here, either on the show now before I end, or at the end of this stream. Just put them on the comments, and I will pick them up from there, should I say. I'm just looking. So basically that's it. I'm gonna wrap up because the only person that's joined me this morning is Mark. This was just to give an update to everybody about doing the predictions. And I wish you all the best. The first game starts at 12:30. So if your predictions are in before then they will count. Anybody is welcome to start. It doesn't matter that you've missed a few weeks, because you pick up points so quickly. Providing that you correctly select, then you'll pick up points so quickly. So there's no issues at all. And there we go. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
My team has got James Maddison. James Maddison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Maddison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe. Whoa.